जय श्री राम। वेलकम टू अनदर सेशन। आज हम रीड करेंगे कैंटो 62। व्हाट इज इट अबाउट? ऑन रीचिंग पुष्कर while Ambarisa is taking rest, Sunashepa approaches Vishwamitra, who was practicing austerities there, and inquires of him a means of escaping death without meeting with the king's opposition, whereupon Vishwamitra teaches him a prayer, each for propitiating Indra and Lord Vishnu respectively, by reciting which the boy secures release from Ambarisha's bondage and the later gets the reward of the sacrifice without sacrificing him. So, taking Sunasepa with him, O jewel among men, the highly illustrious king Ambarisa for his part rested at Pushkar at noon, O scion of Raghu, making his way to the elder main Pushkar, there being two other lakes in the vicinity of the main lake, known as the middle and the younger Pushkar respectively. While the latter was taking rest, the highly renowned Sunasepa, so the tradition goes, saw his maternal uncle Vishwamitra practicing austerities with other sages. Nay, pulling a long face and looking miserable from thirst or desire to live and fatigue, the boy, who was sore afflicted, sank into the sage's lap, O Ram, and spoke as follows. So it is said, there is no mother nor father to me. How then could there be any kinsmen or relations? Be pleased to deliver me, O gentle sir, in the name of piety, O jewel among sages, for you are the redeemer of all, as well as their benefactor. Pray so arrange that the king Ambarisa may realize his object in the shape of a reward of his projected sacrifice, while I may be saved from death, and attaining a long life and practicing austerities, ascend to the celestial plane, the highest of all the three worlds. With a cheerful mind indeed be you, celebrated as you are, a protector to me, a forlorn child. You ought to protect me, O pious soul, against adversity born of sin, even as a father protects his son. Hearing the aforesaid prayer of Sunasepa and consoling him in many ways, the great ascetic Vishwamitra spoke to his own sons as follows. So it is said, the time has just come for ensuring our good in the other world, for which fathers desirous of blessings beget sons. Thus, this son of a hermit, who is yet a child, seeks deliverance through me. Do him a good turn, my dear sons, by merely parting with your own life. You are all engaged in various virtuous tasks and are all devoted to duty, taking the place of a victim at the sacrificial performance of the king Ambarisa, afford satisfaction to the god of fire. In this way, not only will Sunasepa find a protector in us and secure deliverance from death, but the sacrifice of Ambarisa will also be completed without any let or hindrance. Nay, the gods will have been propitiated and my pledge of security given to him redeemed. Hearing the aforesaid exhortation of Vishwamitra, O jewel among men, his sons, of whom Madhuchanda was the eldest, proudly and lightly replied as follows. How is it that you proceed to save another son, parting with your own sons, O almighty sage? We reckon this attempt of yours to be almost as sacrilegious as mixing the flesh of a dog in one's dish. Hearing the aforesaid comment of his above named sons, Vishwamitra, a jewel among sages, proceeded to curse them as follows, his eyes bloodshot through anger. This reply given by you, disregarding my exhortation, is intrepid, nay, divorced from piety, sharp and shocking too. Like the sons of Vashishta, therefore, you shall be born on earth among the low-born classes, such as the Chandalas and the Mushtikas, and living on the flesh of dogs, drag your wretched existence for full 1,000 years. Having subjected his sons to a curse, as aforesaid, Vishwamitra, the foremost of hermits, then spoke to the wretched Sunasepa as follows, ensuring protection free from disease to him by means of mystic spells. Scrambling to the sacrificial post sacred to Lord Vishnu, when you have been bound with cords of darba grass and adorned with a wreath of crimson flowers and bedaubed with red sandal paste for being offered as a victim at the sacrificial performance of King Ambarisa, glorify through the sacred fire Indra and Lord Vishnu by means of glories addressed to them, and then you would do well to chant the two excellent plums invoking the two aforesaid mentioned deities which I am presently going to teach you. O dear son of sage Rika, thereby you will attain your object in the shape of deliverance from the death at the projected sacrificial performance of King Ambarisa. Learning the aforesaid couple of slams as taught by Vishwamitra with a fully concentrated mind, Sunasepa hastily spoke to the King Ambarisa, a lion among kings, as follows. O highly intelligent monarch, O lion among kings, let us both quickly proceed to our destination. Go through the ceremony of consecration for the sacrifice, O King of kings, and conclude the sacrifice without any hitch or rub. Filled with joy to hear the aforesaid request of the sage's son, Sunasepa, the King Ambarisa, quickly reached the sacrificial enclosure, shaking off all lethargy. Having bound Sunasepa, the sacrificial victim, with a cord of darba grass and thereby providing him with distinctive mark of a victim and dressing him in a red attire, the king, who acted upon the advice of the superintending priest, firmly tied him to the sacrificial post. While remaining bound, the young hermit boy duly glorified indeed the two divinities, Lord Indra and his younger brother Lord Vishnu, manifested as the divine dwarf by means of excellent hymns. Propitiated through the mystic slams and filled with delight, Indra, the thousand-eyed divinity, thereupon granted the boon of a long life to Sunasepa that very moment. Nay, the said King Ambarisa too, O jewel among men, duly attained, O Rama, the manifold fruit of the sacrifice yielded by the grace of Indra. Sorry. The great ascetic Vishwamitra too, who is piety incarnate, began his austerities anew in the vicinity of the three lakes, going by the name of Pushkar for another 1,000 years. O jewel among men. Thus ends Canto 62 in the Balakand of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Now we come to Canto 63. Brahma pays a visit to Vishwamitra at Pushkar and rewards him with the status of a rishi, seer. There he feels enamored of Menka, a celestial nymph deputed by Indra, and enjoys life with her for 10 years. At last he realizes his folly and retires to the Himalayas, where he renews his austerities and is rewarded with the status of Maharshi by Brahma. Still dissatisfied, he prosecutes his austerities with renewed vigor. At the end of full 1,000 years, all the gods headed by Brahma, the creator, for their part, keen as they were to bestow on the sage the fruit of his austerities, personally called on Vishwamitra, the eminent sage who had just finished his ablutions, making the conclusion of a secret vow. The exceptionally glorious Brahma addressed to him the following most pleasing words: May good betide you. You have now become a rishi, pure and simple, while you were till now only a royal sage, by virtue of pious acts in the shape of austerities performed by your own self. Speaking to him thus, Brahma, the suzerain lord of the gods, returned to the highest heaven, his own realm, while Vishwamitra, the great ascetic, embarked once more on a course of severe austerities. Then, after a long time, one day, Menka, a celestial nymph of the highest order, came to bathe in the three lakes going by the name of Pushkar, O jewel among men. The highly glorious Vishwamitra, son of Kushika, beheld in the water of one of the aforesaid lakes the celebrated Menka, matchless in beauty, shining like a streak of lightning in a cloud. Succumbing to the passion of love, the sage Vishwamitra spoke to her in the following words: My welcome to you, O celestial nymph. Nay, dwell in this hermitage of mine. May prosperity attend on you. Be gracious to me, infatuated as I am through love. Requested thus, the aforesaid Belly forthwith took up her abode in that hermitage. Indeed, in the form of this nymph, a great obstacle in the way of his austerities presented itself before Vishwamitra. 10 years were spent happily by her while living in that pleasant hermitage of Vishwamitra, O Rama. So much time having rolled unperceived, the great sage Vishwamitra felt ashamed as it were and fell a prey to anxiety and grief. The revelation dawned on him with a feeling of indignation. O scion of Raghu, that all that which was a deep laid design to rob him of the spiritual energy stored by him through ascetics was the work of the gods. He said to himself, 10 long years have rolled by me as though it were a day and night, overwhelmed as I was by infatuation born of concupiscence. This is nothing but an obstacle come in my way. Sighing deeply with this thought, the said Vishwamitra, the foremost among the sages, felt distressed through remorse. Seeing the celestial nymph Menka standing before him with folded hands, trembling with fear and dismissing her with sweet expression, O Ram, Vishwamitra, son of Kushika, proceeded to the northern mountain, the Himalayas, so the tradition goes, making a firm resolve to observe lifelong celibacy with intent to conquer passion, and reaching the bank of Kaushiki, Vishwamitra, the highly illustrious sage, practiced austerities which were hard to accomplish for others. Fear entered the minds of gods when they saw Vishwamitra practicing terrible austerities on the northern mountain for thousands of years. Approaching Brahma, all the gods, accompanied by hosts of rishis, prayed to him as follows: May yonder Vishwamitra, son of Kushika, deservedly receive the title of Maharshi, an eminent seer. Hearing the intercession of the gods, Brahma, the progenitor of the entire creation, addressed the following sweet words to Vishwamitra, whose only wealth was his asceticism. Hail, O eminent seer, pleased with your severe austerities, O dear child, I hereby confer on you the distinction in the shape of the foremost rank among rishis, O son of Kushika. Hearing the boon of Brahma, Vishwamitra, however, whose only wealth was his asceticism, replied to Brahma, the progenitor of the entire creation, with folded hands as follows, bending low with humility. If your holiness used for me the epithet Brahma Rishi, a Brahman seer, which has no equal in my eyes, as earned through pious acts performed by myself, then only I should consider myself as having thoroughly conquered my senses. Thereupon Brahma replied to him, You have not been able to conquer your senses. Strive further, O tiger among sages. Saying so, he rose to the highest heaven, Brahmalok. On the gods having dispersed, the eminent sage Vishwamitra resumed his austerities, standing with his arms lifted upwards, living on air alone, and remaining without any abode. Nay, the ascetic, whose only wealth was his asceticism, remained seated in the midst of 4 fires, one in each quarter, and the sun as the 5th overhead in summer, in open air during the rains, and standing in water for days and nights during the winter. In this way, indeed, he practiced terrible austerities for 1,000 years. While the great sage Vishwamitra was duly practicing austerities as aforesaid, deep anguish indeed seized the mind of the gods as well as of Indra. Indra, along with the host of gods, called and addressed the celestial nymph Rambha the following request, which was in his Indra's own interest and prejudicial to Vishwamitra, the son of Kushika. Thus ends Canto 63 in the Balakand of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. So, we will meet again tomorrow. Jai Shri Krishna.